at Starlight Ministries, there was a group of sessions, 6 sessions, that were focused on lament. And that was so extremely powerful to me, to really learn about lament and what it is to lament and to truly mourn. Because I remember having this just huge aha moment that, is that lightning? I hope
That's an
not. I
airplane.
think it's an airplane. Okay, we're good.
What happens if you live next to the airport?
So, anyway, I had this aha moment that I had always called it the bad cry. I would say, oh, it's the bad cry. I'm having the bad cry. It sounds a lot better to say that I am just showing lament and really truly mourning. And that when you're bereaved and you're mourning, it's like you're being torn asunder. And because that's exactly what it feels like, that you're being ripped completely apart. And to have those terms really explained to me, it really normalized it. Like, lament is normal and good and has gone on throughout the ages. And when you are mourning and bereaving someone, you are being just ripped apart. And that is completely normal. So you don't feel like you're doing something that's abnormal. Anyway, normalizing that was big for me.
Yeah, and for me, I think one of the things was recognizing that people survive, and that I'm not the only one who's gone through this. It's not a happy thought to think that other people have gone through the same sort of process, having their child die. But knowing that people survive and they get through, it's not fun. It's not something you'd ever want to do, but that you can come out the other end and, get through it. The other is one thing that struck me after just a couple of weeks of our session, our group, was that we spent a lot of time with, other parents, obviously, but they had kids who died and who were adults, and people who died, and ones who died as a baby, and then just a couple of teenagers. And it was, initially you just recognize the differences between everyone. Like they had grandkids, and it was a totally different situation. The adult child, and you're jealous because you're like, wouldn't it be great to see my kid if he was 25, 30 years old and had a family? And yeah, you lose them, but at least you had some time with them, versus somebody who's lost a baby, right? And then, but at some point you realize that it's all kind of the same, and that it's different. Obviously, every life's unique, and your experiences are different, but recognize that there is a common sort of thread for everybody, and that, yeah, we're different, but the loss is probably just as intense. And so I don't know. I mean, that was, I think, the thing I learned the most. It was the most surprised for, certainly, but that's a really big club. And then, and I just, had a patient today who I talked to who lost her daughter in child labor 8 months ago. And so, we talked about that, actually. And that's something also I never would have done. I mean, 5 years ago, I never would have started talking to someone about the fact that they lost a child or something before going back to the operating room. So that was definitely different for me.